Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. I recently did some videos about anarchy. I say recently, but it's been a few months because I just moved to New York. It was just after I got moved here. Well, I'm in Connecticut right now, but it's just after I got moved back east here that I decided to do a video on anarchy, called Anarchy is Stupid. I got 4 or 5 video responses to it within a couple of days, which is extraordinarily unusual, and a lot of comments and quite a few views on the video. And it was a waste of time. There was only one of the video responses which was worth anything, and I favorited it. And I realized that I don't want to be in a conversation with people who believe in anarchy. I don't want to be in a conversation or dialogue or anything else with people who believe in religion, or socialism, or statism, or fascism, or Marxism of any brand, or Islamic fundamentalism. Don't want to be in a conversation with any of them. If they want to learn the basics of thinking, they can come to my channel after they've got some basics down and grow from there. But anarchists and Islamofascists and Christians and all the other idiots, I'm not going to fight with them about those beliefs. I've realized that I can get a lot of views on my videos, tons of views, if I'll talk about the right things. People will click on the videos if it's got a title that they'd be interested in. Like if it's something about anarchy, you're going to get the whole range of anarchists, and there's a lot of them. Well, I've actually, and this would be good for me because I've got the Google AdSense thing, and usually I earn like 2 pennies a day. I think my Google AdSense account's up to $16, and they don't disperse until it gets to $100. And I've been on with Google AdSense for 7 or 8 or 10 months or something, and it's at $16 right now. So I've got to do something to increase the views on my videos, like Israel. Now, I don't want more people. The Objectivists are able to find me. The intelligent people are able to find me. Let me talk for just a second about the points in the anarchy video, and just put that on the table that I'm realizing that I'm a specialist in pretty deep objectivism, pretty specific applications of objectivism to specific areas, or broad general areas, specific areas in philosophy. That's falling apart, isn't it? But that's true. I just apply objectivism, and so that if you don't know objectivism very well, you're A, going to be uninterested, and B, possibly not even able to understand most of the stuff in most of my videos. It'll have much, much more significance if you're an objectivist. And the more into objectivism and the more you know, the more of my videos will make more sense and work for you. So, when I do a video that steps out of the bounds of what an objectivist should be watching, or I shouldn't put it that way, what an objectivist could watch, and it steps into an area where other people could watch it with a lot of benefit, I risk gathering attention from idiots. So, I'll try to stay away from that in the future. Anarchy, I have decided, here's what I diagnose the anarchy problem as. People have reversed the cause and effect between markets and law. The Greeks understood it, but the anarchists have forgotten it. And the anarchists take markets as like trees and lakes and stuff. Markets just exist. Now, if you look at the history of the United States, you know that they work. And they're going to say, well, Magna Carta was made by markets, and Rome was run by markets, everything was markets, everything's market. They see markets everywhere. So, for them, markets have created everything. And all we have to do is get out certain ingredients, namely using physical force against others, because that's what the state does, right? So if we stop people using physical force, how are we going to do that? Brain freeze, right? They're going to do that by everyone agreeing to be anarchists. Oh, and it'll be in their own self-interest. And everyone will see that it's the best in their interest to do it this way, and everything will work out. Well, look, criminals see stuff that's in their own self-interest all the time. It's just that they misunderstand. They think there's a car with keys in it, and they jump in and go. And it's in their self-interest to have a fun ride right now, maybe even sell the car later, maybe just get the cops to chase you. I met a guy who had just gotten out of prison, who knew a person who knew a person who I knew. He said he'd gone to prison for stealing cars. He had several offenses. He didn't steal them to sell them. He would steal them and then speed around, jumping stuff, running stop signs and stuff, until he got the cops to follow him. And that's when the fun started, is trying to get away from the cops. That's what was really fun. So you had to get the cops to chase you, then you had to get away from them. And that was good times. You're never going to get these people out of your hair except a state is going to have to intervene. And you're going to make little states and whatever. So the reason they get off on this fantasy, the reason their brain floats away from them, and they end up not even talking reality, is because they've started off saying that anarchy is just allowing markets to work, ignoring the fact that markets are a creature of law. Freedom is created by the law. I'll quickly mention the Greeks again, real quick. The Greeks believed that the Persians were not free because they had no laws. It was a government of men, so that the local judge had his say, and the Persian king himself had his say, and magistrates and satrapies and whatever, all the little governors and stuff around were individual dictators as far as they could be, and so on, and that men bowed before authority in Persia because there was no law. But in Greece, men obey only the law. And the Persian king asked one of his men, one of his advisors or something, he said, "Who is set over the Greeks as tyrant?" And the guy replied, "The Greeks obey only the law." Now that's freedom, ladies and gentlemen. And the anarchists, the whole lot of them, are not worth talking to until they can get a couple basic thinking methods through their skull. Then they're welcome to come to my channel and look around. So no more anarchy in the future. Might attack anarchy tangentially, or might attack religion tangentially, but not... I'm not going to do a series on anarchy now, because it's not worth addressing. It's a bunch of people who don't understand the relationship between law and freedom. So I'm going to focus on doing things that I think objectivists should know and be aware of, and that I'm interested in, and that are within my sphere of capabilities at the time. So that's going to be things like different philosophers and the works of Dryden, maybe, John Dryden, and some good Victorian poems and stuff like that, and Voltaire, and so on. And I'm going to stay away from the extremely popular videos on which so much time is wasted by so many other people. The anarchists all have their whole little world going, and it's all just a floating abstraction of fantasy. So I'm finished here. I've made my point. I will just finish off by saying that the anarchists are Marxists, aren't they? They want the state to shrivel away, and they want mankind to sort of be in like a little paradise of getting along. And that's Marxism. You can't put Marxism in any other terms than that. And Marxism obviously isn't scientific like it used to claim. It is therefore based not on science but on assertions, kind of like religion, isn't it? In fact, the only difference between Marxism and religion is that Marxism worships mankind in the future, whereas religion worships a god. You still sacrifice everything to it. It's still the purpose of existence, and you can't help but notice that the anarchists are almost as stupid as the Marxists. Just jumps out at you.